Hello, welcome back to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas and today we're going to be looking at simplifying ratios. Hope you're good and let's get cracking. Alright, so you can simplify ratios in the same way that you simplify fractions. So first of all, you just find a common factor of all the numbers in the ratio and just divide everything by that common factor. So if everything's in the 4 times table, divide everything by 4. If you can find the highest common factor, then you're going to end up with it in its simplest form. But, otherwise don't worry about that. You can just keep simplifying it until you can't anymore, and then your ratio will be in its simplest form. Okay, so here are a few examples. Feel free to pause the video, have a go at them yourself. Otherwise, we shall do them together. Okay, so this first one, we want to simplify the ratio 3 to 9. So let me just grab a lovely colour. Now 3 and 9 are in the 3 times table. So if we divide 3 by 3, we get 1. And if we divide 9 by 3, we get 3. So there, I'm just dividing everything by 3. Okay, the next one, we've got 4 to 18. Well, they're both in the 2 times table. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. So there, we've just divided by 2. All right, next one, we've got 24 to 64. Now let's just show you can do it in separate steps. So let's say we look at this and we think, oh, well, I think that 4 goes into both of these. So I can definitely divide everything by 4. 24 divided by 4 is 6, and 64 divided by 4 is 16. So I've simplified it definitely by dividing it by 4. But then I can look at this new one I've got, 6 to 16, and actually I can simplify that again by dividing both by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 16 divided by 2 is 8. And that's our final answer. So I've divided by 2 again. So you can do it in steps. Now if you wanted to, you could go straight from 24, 64 to 3, 8 by dividing by 8. But this is just to tell you, you don't have to find that highest common factor. You can just keep going. And then finally, we've got a three-way one. We've got 15 to 25 to 30. And these are all in the 5 times table. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 25 divided by 5 is 5. And 30 divided by 5 is 6. And that is dividing everything by 5. Okay, great. So those are some simple simplifying ratios. Okay, so sometimes you might have to simplify ratios with different units. Okay, and what you want to do first is convert them so that they're the same. Okay, so make one unit the same as another. So for example, if we wanted to simplify the ratio 4 days to 2 weeks, you'd want to change one of them into the other, and it's easier to turn weeks into days. So we convert 2 weeks into 14 days. So there's 7 days in a week, so 14 days in 2 weeks. So instead of 4 days to 2 weeks, it's 4 days to 14 days. And then once you've got it in the same kind of unit like that, you can then simplify it, dividing it by 2 and getting our answer 2 to 7. Okay, so here's a few more to have a go at. Feel free to pause the video and try yourself. Otherwise, we'll do it together. Okay, so first up, we've got 20 minutes to 1 hour. Well, how many minutes are in an hour? It's 60. So this is the same as 20 to 60. And then I can divide by, well, I can divide by 20 actually to get straight there. So divide by 20. 20 divided by 20 is 1. And 60 divided by 20 is 3. So that is 1 to 3. Next one, we've got 85p to £2. Well, how many p's are in £2? Well, it's 200p. So this is the same as 85 to 200. And I can divide everything by 5. So how many 5s go into 85? Well, it's going to be 17, I think. And how many 5s go into 200? It is 40. So that is 17 to 40. Okay, part C, we've got 3,200 millilitres to 2 litres. Well, how many millilitres are in a litre? It's 1,000. So this is going to be 3,200, and we've got 2 litres, so that's going to be 2,000. Great. Now, what can we do here? Well, let's divide both by 100 to make it a bit simpler. So if we divide by 100, we're going to be left with 32 and 20. And then I can divide by 4 then. So divide by 4, and we're going to get 32 divided by 4 is 8, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So that's 8 to 5. All right, next one, 100 minutes to 2 days. All right, so this is a bit naughty, this one. So let's first turn days into hours. So this is going to be 100 minutes to, well, there's 24 hours in one day, so there's 48 hours in 2 days. And then we want to turn it into minutes. So let's do an equals. There are 60 minutes in an hour, so we want to do 60 times 48. So I tell you what, let's just do it like that. So you're going to get a 0. 8 times 6 is 48, and 4 times 6 is 24, plus the 4 is 2,880. So hopefully that is correct. All right then. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It's 2,880. So it's 100 to 2,880. Now let's simplify this. We can definitely divide both by 10. So this is going to work out to be 10 to 288. And then I can divide by 2. Divide by 2, and we're going to end up with 5 to 144. And I think that's the simplest I can make it. All right, so that's ones where we have to change the units. Next, we want to look at simplifying ratios with decimals. So first of all, you just want to get rid of the decimal, and you can do that by scaling up. We'll do another video on scaling up separately. But basically, you can times everything in the ratio by either 10, 100, 1,000, whatever's going to make sure that there's no decimals left. So for example, here we've got 2.4 to 3.8. And if we times both of them by 10, we're going to end up with 24 to 38, and then we can just simplify that by halving it, and we end up with 12 to 19. So you just times it by a power of 10, so either 10, 100, 1,000, whatever you need, so that we get rid of the decimal, and then you can simplify it as normal. So again, here are for you to have a go at. Feel free to try them yourself first, otherwise we'll do them together. So first one, we've got 6 to 1.2. So let's times both sides by 10, and that's going to give us, let me just get my pen, so that's going to give us 60 to 12. So there I've just times by 10. And then what we can do is we can divide, well actually 60 is in the 12 times table, so we can divide by 12. So let's just do that, divide by 12. 60 divided by 12 is 5, and 12 divided by 12 is 1. So that simplifies to 5 to 1. Okay, next up we've got 7.5 kilograms to 4.5 kilograms. So again, we can times both sides by 10, and we're going to end up with, so times by 10, we're going to end up with 75 to 45. And from that, we can divide by 5, and we're going to end up with 15 to 9. And actually, we can divide again, can't we, by 3. So we can divide by 3. And then I'll put back in the units, so 5 kilograms to 3 kilograms. And that's our answer. Okay, next we've got 30 pounds to £0.20. So again, we just need to times by 10. So these are all pretty similar. So 30 times 10, so times 10. 30 times 10 is 300. And £0.20 times 10 is just going to be 2. So 300 to 2. And then we can divide by 2. And we're going to end up with 150 to 1. All right, and then finally, we've got 1.02 litres. And we've got 0.68 litres. So this time we're going to have to times by 100 to get rid of the decimal. So we're ending up with 102 to 68. And then let's divide both by 2. That seems like the obvious thing to do. And that's going to be 51 to 34. And now these are both in the 17 times table, so it's a bit of a tricky one to spot. But divide by 17 and you're going to get 3 to 2. Okay, hope that's all right. Okay, so we're doing loads of different examples, and now we're going to look at, sometimes it'll ask you to simplify a ratio to 1 to n or n to 1. Now all you have to do is, whichever one you want to turn into 1, you just divide it by itself. So for example, if I had 6 to 7 and I wanted to turn that 1 to n, well, to get from 6 to 1, you just divide by 6. So I'd have to do exactly the same to the right hand side to make it equal. So you just divide it by itself to get to 1, and then you do the same to the other one, and that'll give you whatever your n is. So here's another example. So here we want to turn 4 to 9 in the ratio of 1 to n. So if you've got 4, you divide by 4 to get 1. But then you want to divide 9 by 4, and that's going to give you 2.25. So our n is 2.25. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Okay, so here are a few more examples. Feel free to pause and have a go yourself, otherwise we'll do them together. So number 4 says simplify the following ratios into the form 1 to n. Okay, well I want to go from 2 to 1, and I'm dividing by 2. So I need to divide 3 by 2, which is going to be 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So this is 1 to 1.5. Next one, we want to go from 5 to 72. So 5 to 1 is going to divide by 5. And then 72 divided by 5 is going to be 14.4. Let me just double check I've done that right. I think so, yeah. All right, the next one, we want to simplify the ratios into the form n to 1. So it's just the other way around this time. So this time we want the 1 on this side. So that's going from 10 to 1, so divide by 10. And 3 divided by 10 is 0.3. So that is that one. And then we're going from 5 to 8. And we want 8 to go to 1. So we divide by 8. And then 5 divided by 8 is going to be, oh blimey, so half it is 2.5. Half again is 1.25. So 6.125, is that right? Or 0.6125, I think. Blimey, now you're testing me. There we go. So 0.6125. So that would double to be 1.25. Yeah, happy with that. 0.6125 to 1. Okay, there we go. Okay, and finally, just some worded examples to finish off with. Okay, so we've got a tennis match between Emma Raducanu and Naomi Osaka. And it says, at this tennis match, there are 3,200 Emma Raducanu fans and 3,000 Naomi Osaka fans. Write down the ratio of Osaka fans to Raducanu fans. So first of all, let's make sure it's in the right order. So we want Osaka to Raducanu. So Osaka was 3,000 and Raducanu was 3,200. Now we can divide by 100. So let's just do that. So divide by 100. To simplify it, we're going to get 30 to 32. And then we can divide by 2, and that will give us 15 to 16. And that's our answer. All right, number 2. Osaka won the first set 6-4. Write down the ratio of the number of games won by Raducanu to the number of games won by Osaka in the first set in the form of 1 to n. Well, it's Raducanu to Osaka, so if Osaka won 6-4, then Raducanu got 4, so it's 4 to 6. Now we want to turn this into 1 to n. So to get from 4 to 1, we divide by 4. So we want to divide 6 by 4. Half of 6 is 3, and half of 3 is 1.5. So I'll change this n to a 1.5. Great. Number 3, the second set lasted 50 minutes, whereas the entire match lasted 2¼ hours. What is the ratio in its simplest form of the duration of the second set to the duration of the match? Okay, well the second set was 50. Let me use a different colour because I'm trying to mix things up. Let's use a blue. So we're going from 50 to 2¼ hours. Well, 1 hour is 60 minutes, 2 hours is 120, add a quarter of an hour, that's 15 minutes, added to 220 is 235. Okay, and then we just want that in its simplest form. If we divide by 5, we're going to get 10 and 47, I believe. And that is our answer. So I hope you found that useful. This has been LK Tuition. I've been Lucas. Please forget to like and subscribe. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you soon for some more maths videos.